Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Geeks and Degenerates. We'll be continuing our spooky series with It 2017, the reboot of the It movie or TV series from way back when with Tim Curry. With me is Seb and Jomar.
Hola.
Get closer!
So,
Hi.
The energy. Wow.
I honestly saw one trailer for this movie and knew nothing about the old one. I knew Tim Curry wasn't, so going into it, I was kind of late. So the first thing I saw was poor Georgie's arm being severed in half. I was like, oh, this is the tone of the movie. Cool.
Got it.
Excellent.
I'm ready.
Someone give Georgie a hand, please. Here, Georgie, here's the one you dropped. Sorry.
I'm sorry.
This kid died.
Sorry.
He's not real, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, the thing that really impressed me aside from Pennywise is the cast of the Losers Club. Like, these kids weren't annoying. They weren't like, can you just shut up, please? They were very... I like how they remind of how kids talk, when their parents aren't around.
they curse like motherfuckers.
Yes. Especially Richie. It's like, damn, that kid's got a sailor suit.
Yeah.
This was all of us when we were kids.
When we weren't in school.
Excuse me?
Oh no, I did this in school too.
Yeah.
We couldn't do that.
You
No,
won.
I did anything I wanted. Everyone hated me already, so I was like, oh, fuck. Oh shit, they hurt me. Run away!
Even without
Okay.
the clown, this town feels uneasy. It's like there's an uneasy edge to it. It's like, even in the history books, there's like children being blown up and their bodiless heads on trees. It's like, interesting history you got here, Derry.
Wait, that was an actual part of their history book?
Yes.
Yeah.
Why does anybody want to move there?
I mean, you can argue, why is anyone living here?
Yeah.
You got a point. Damn, he got me there.
Yeah. And these kids
Shit!
and these kids have to learn how to survive in this creepy town. For me, Richie was my favorite member of the Losers Club. How about you guys?
He's fucking great. He's
Yeah.
the best. He's the best member of the Losers Club. This is this. I think is just them really showing people how much Stranger Things ripped off from Stephen King.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what it is. It's just like Stand By Me and It rolled
Just
into
combined.
one movie.
Yeah.
Rolled into one show, and then you cast not so Natalie Portman as a strong female lead. I don't. What I'm trying to say is, Stranger Things sucks. Just watch Stephen King stuff. It's better.
I mean, season 1 I enjoyed. Season 2 was okay.
I've watched every season of Stranger Things.
You don't like it?
I think it's
Overrated?
the Genshin Impact. It's the Genshin Impact
To
of
the
thriller shows. Like Stephen King's It, Stand By Me, Doctor Sleep. All of these things are the Breath of the Wild. The Stranger Things. The Stranger Things is Genshin Impact. Sure, it has a big audience and everyone loves it, but trust me, there's a version of this game where this game came from, and that is a masterpiece. This is a copy of that masterpiece.
a Chinese knockoff.
But the other ones that really stand out are
Eh.
Richie and Bev to me. Like Finn
I
Wolfhard.
gotta say, I love the casting choice for the second movie, which is who's the comedian that they had for Richie?
Bill Hader.
Bill Hader.
Bill Hader. Yeah, I was like, perfect.
And he chose him to be him.
You know what's funny about Bill Hader is that, besides he's
His
Bill
comedy.
Hader, besides the fact that he's Bill Hader, Bill Hader. Well, are we talking about It 1 or 2?
One.
One. No,
You just,
I
Alright.
you just wanted to mention.
I just mentioned,
you like
yeah.
Bill
I'll,
Hader.
I'll save the Bill Hader shit for the next
Right.
one. But the most notable one's Richie, but he's already pretty fucking tried and tested for stuff like Stranger Things. So you kind of know what you were gonna get with him. But this just feels like why this kid should be given more spotlight than he does in Stranger Things.
Yeah.
Because he was a fucking genius. He's great. Um, Beverly's also really great. The actress for Beverly, forgot her fucking name, but she's amazing, and I so badly want this girl to play Carrie Kelly.
Oh shit!
I wanted to play
That is
Carrie
so
Kelly
good.
so fucking bad. Um, uh,
Damn, I
Bill
see it.
Skarsgård is amazing.
Yes.
Bill Skarsgård is a tremendous actor. He can actually do the eye thing.
Yes. And the
Where
lip.
he just separates.
And the
Yeah,
lip
he does
thing.
it. The lip thing is legit him. A lot of body acting comes from Bill Skarsgård, and it shows that he's definitely a Skarsgård.
Yeah.
You know, like he's either a cut above, if not at the same league as his other family members. And you know, everyone's gonna fucking say he would play a great Joker, which I don't deny. But this guy's got so much versatility that I could see him in a lot of different situations.
We see him as
And it would-
Scarecrow.
He would be a pretty dope Scarecrow.
Mm.
He would be a pretty dope Scarecrow. He would be a dope Riddler, a dope Scarecrow.
The only
I can't-
thing of note aside from this movie where he's in is Atomic Blonde and Deadpool 2. It's like I wish he was
Right.
more.
Yeah, he was in those.
Yeah.
Right.
Like I wish he was in more
He-
stuff.
He got wood chippered in Deadpool too.
Yeah.
I think he would have been an effective superhero. Damn it.
We're X-Force!
I love the fact that the director kept them separate and then allowed the kids to see him until like the first house section to get a genuine reaction of fear. Because you see the behind the scenes, like the scene where he charges Billy and Richie. Finn Wolfhard's face like, holy fucking shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you didn't like clowns, you're really not gonna like clowns after this fucking movie.
Andy Muschietti is a great director. He was definitely the right guy to direct this, and Andy Muschietti understands this material so much better than what the audience would think that this is. Because Stephen King stuff, and this is encompassed through the both of the It stuff, because It was a single book. And this is something that rolls with Stephen King through all of his movies, whether it's Doctor Sleep, The Shining, It, or It 2. The villain in this movie is not Pennywise as much as it is trauma. And this is a movie about that. This is a movie about the repercussions, the PTSD, the retaining aspects of that trauma. And it's being emphasized here. I don't know the fat kid's name. What's the fat kid's name
Ben.
again? Ben's insecurities with his old body, Ben's insecurities with being alone, Beverly's traumas with her father,
Yeah.
Richie's insecurities with his own identity as a person, and his own value as a person. What's the big brother's name?
Bill.
Bill's trauma over the loss of his little brother. And that is what's shown to them in this movie. It's not the spiders. It's not just Pennywise himself. Like, majority of the time, you'll see these kids being haunted by the things that are within themselves, rather than the clown. And that's why this works. And this is planting the seeds of a certain trauma that haunts them all the way to adulthood. And this was the way to do it. Because you see these things get attacked, and you see them have to overcome this by fighting Pennywise. You see them overcome this by having to deal with it themselves, and you see them deal with it in a way that is kind of portrayed somewhat like an analogy, but when you look at it from a literal sense, this is exactly how trauma gets addressed. You know, you get confronted by it, you get overwhelmed by it, you break down, you find friends, and through this unity of not being alone, you were able to somehow cope with this trauma and at some point confront it.
And as you mentioned, I kind of did notice, like with everybody in the Losers Club, they all had something.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
for sure, Mike, racism and stuff, since it was that
Mhm.
time period, and Eddie, since he has like an overly protective mother.
Fuck. That kid
Yep.
was great. That kid was
Mhm.
really
Yes.
great.
Yes.
That kid's amazing. All of
Yeah.
the acting in this movie was amazing. Like,
Yeah.
sobrang heavyweight ng cast ng kids.
Yeah, and I didn't get annoyed by any of them.
Yeah.
Like they were all really good.
Because they're so relatable. It's like, yeah, I remember being like that as a kid. First thing I'm out of.
Right at the back, I'm like, fuck.
Yeah, exactly.
The bully was amazing too.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he's afraid of his dad. He's like, oh, okay.
Like,
Dude, that guy could haunt my fucking dreams, man.
yeah, it kind of brought back memories. No. I'm kidding.
Anyway, moving on. Yeah, the bully's amazing. And
Could use this on me if you want to.
No. I'm a changed man. I am stronger now.
Jumper just turns on the TV and he hears, kill him. Kill him. Kill him. Like, yes. Yes, Stevie.
My other monitor starts glitching out. I'm like,
And you end up behind me. And I'm just like, oh, it's fucking time. Let's go. Like, you expect me to react in fear, but I'm just like, I've been waiting for this moment for a really long time. Let's fucking.
A detail I really
I
like.
don't want any trouble.
The one that the trouble beats the shit out of you. Anyway, go on, Enzo.
A detail I really liked about Pennywise is when they're in the house and he's about to kill Eddie, but like above Richie and Bill. Bill's like, it's not real. Don't believe it's real when they're in the not scary at all, scary is, and then whatever. And then Pennywise just senses it. He's like, they're not falling for my tricks. I need to step it up. That's why when they arrive in the room, he's like, I'm not real enough. It's real enough for Georgie. It's like, oh, okay.
Oh, fuck you. But there's this one scene I really loved, which was the library scene.
That was so good.
That was
so good.
really fucking good.
The librarian.
Dude, I didn't notice it till my second watch.
I,
I'm
no-
like,
I noticed it on my first watch on digital. Like when I could freely watch this on my own, alone, not in the cinema. She's right there, in the background, and she gets closer and closer. It goes from she's just there, and then you see like the blurred smile. Then it gets closer.
I'm like, old lady, you better back the fuck.
like,
I'm
bitch,
just like,
get away.
no. I do not want to make America great again. Get away from me.
Yeah,
Someone
flipping
take this
through the
woman
books.
prune juice. Oh yeah.
As he's turning through the book, he's just getting more backstory, and like knowing the fact that it was just watching him like learn about him, like, and then, what's his name? Ben
Yeah.
goes down to the like somewhat archives of
Derry.
Derry, and the headless boy comes in. That was the one that made me jump out of my seat, because it wasn't him appearing on screen. It was him rushing at him once they revealed who it was. I was like, fuck this shit.
Yeah. One of my greatest fears is disembodied creatures with cardio.
And by the fact that Ben was fat, I'm like, oh hell no, it's my worst nightmare.
But like, I felt a little at ease knowing that this disembodied creature like didn't have a head. I'm like, if he was like missing an arm, then I would have probably been scared. But like, it doesn't have a head. What?
It's the
Like,
way.
if this is a zombie.
So you were scared of Georgie?
I was.
No, I'm kidding.
No, I wasn't. No, I wasn't scared of Georgie. Like the overarching. I was actually not scared of this movie at all. But like to me,
yeah.
like I don't think it is about scaring people, even though it's a horror movie.
Yeah.
I think it is kind of trying to mirror things that scare us from within. Like that's where the horror comes in. It's not it's not it. It's not the monster, which is why this works. Like, they're using fantasy elements to incorporate something that's very within us. But in terms of literal scariness, it was done well.
Hmm.
And like things like Pennywise drool, which was real. That wasn't like they didn't apply anything to him. He was actually drooling. Because he had a hard time talking with the teeth. And it inadvertently worked in their favor because that's
Made him
terrifying.
slobber.
Yeah. But I do find it funny how they kind of like beat him by bullying him.
Gang up on him.
Like let's just mug this motherfucker. Like
Like really, his Pennywise, like his only strength is fear. He didn't have any like adult strength. He could just push a kid on his head. Like,
you do know Pennywise isn't like a clown, right?
yeah, he's a demon, or
He's like
an interdimensional entity.
yes,
that
yeah, he's more like that. He's
Yeah.
more like that. He's kind of a demigod.
Hmm.
But he's a very dependent on the things that increase
People
his
are scared
strength
of.
type of demigod. He's
Alright.
not like a Thor type, so he really relies on that. When you give him strength, he's freakishly strong, and he can influence his environment to fit something that would give him strength. Like, he makes Derry like paranoid. He makes Derry racist. He makes people fearful, and he encourages that in people. So the more traumatized you are, the more he can end up making that trauma rule you. So
Okay,
he's
that-
really just a trauma analogy.
Now that I'm thinking about it, that's actually pretty good. That is actually really fucking good.
That's basically what I've been trying to say. Like, the reason Pennywise works is because Pennywise is not strong on his own. Just like your trauma. Just like things you go through. Your trauma is not strong if it doesn't simmer in your head and you don't cultivate it. But because these people are vulnerable to it, Pennywise is allowed to grow and become strong. And because of the history of Derry, he's actually ingrained into this. He becomes ingrained into the infrastructure of this town because he was able to take advantage of this trauma and make it spin in a way that made him live for centuries. Like when Ben was reading that book, those were facts. Like that's the actual history. That's how long Pennywise has existed, and that's how long this town has been ingrained in this trauma. They were never able to grow out of it because it was able to fester. And these kids were able to come out of it because, one, I think it's been confirmed that they can shine.
What do you mean?
Yes.
Really?
The kids supposedly can shine. Like, you know the telepathy from The Shining?
Okay.
They can see this. Like, they have a certain intuition. Which is kind of an analogy for, I think, either being a liberal mind or having ADHD. One of the two. It's an analogy for people who actually are able to go against the grain, which is what the losers are. That's why when Pennywise disappeared, or when Pennywise died, like, a lot of the town changed for a bit. It's because these kids were able to go against the grain and confront the thing. That's why they were able to do it, and that's also what The Shining is. The Shining is supposed to be a special type of artistic aspect to a child. Or to a being. And I think that's why they gave it to the guy in The Shining. Like, it helps that he was black. Not like... It's equated to trauma, and it's equated to not fitting in. Like, the analogy is that the people who don't fit in, who can't quite fit into the norms, are the ones that'll be able to change the world. That's what the losers are in this movie. Like, they could not cope with the world around them, ended up confronting the thing, ended up coming together. And that's how to beat Pennywise. And to the viewer, it's kind of also telling them this is how you beat your own demons. Your demons are as strong as you allow them to be, and if you allow them to become strong, they can consume you. Which is what he does in a metaphorical sense and in a literal sense.
The bat. Yes.
Yes.
I mean, I don't know. I love the entire sequence because one of my favorite characters here is Eddie, and second to
Eddie, will this help me get better?
but okay, shut the fuck up, Venom.
He actually
He actually does
a
it.
Venom voice. It's a
Yeah.
pretty good Venom voice.
Thank
That's
you.
what I've been telling him to do. I've been telling him to voice act, like just shout out to people who want like a fan animated thing. Anyway, going back, like besides Richie, Eddie's one of my favorite characters. Knowing the fact that the entire time he's scared of this, like, was it like a painting or was this another?
That's Stan.
That's Stan. Was this Pennywise is just right up his face, and of course he has the bat. It
Yeah.
just hits him, and then he throws up on him, and he's like, "Ah!" I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, you go get him."
That
Eddie."
whole scene, they had to overcome their fears, and he's like, "Fuck that shit."
No, but I love that scene because as said, like, this is everybody. This is Pennywise throwing everything that he's got on them,
Mm.
at them, and them just screaming and moving forward. And I was like, now that I'm really thinking about it, like that's a really good analogy.
I do love the part where Richie's like, "You made me walk through shit water, made me go through all this shit,
Yeah.
and now I have to kill this fucking clown." It's like, let's fucking go, losers.
The germaphobe was like so pissed off.
Yeah.
And he's just a petty bitch at his core.
And that fake bitch got thrown up and he didn't care at that point, so I'm like, good for you.
The only thing I find weird is that when Ben was attacking him, he turns into a mummy. It's like, I don't think Ben's afraid of mummies though, unless I missed something. I think in the book he is, but like in this movie, it's like he never mentions anything about mummies.
Who knows, maybe he's claustrophobic.
Though going back a bit, another scene that really scared me is like the rock fighting scene. It's like, please cover your mouths. You don't lose a tooth because of this. Like Jesus Christ, they're
Oh fuck.
throwing rocks the size of my fist. It's like,
Dude,
Jesus
the fact that we've actually been in something like that when we were young. Like that shit's scary. Fuck that scene, yeah, that shit scared me because like it's just instinct. I'm like, fuck, stop. We're children.
It's like when Isaiah says, "Get out of my house."
felt bad
Oh,
for.
I'm sorry, sir. Yes, I will leave my house. I'm sorry.
Wait a minute.
Gotta
This is my
wait,
house.
Show. This is a show. Never mind.
I felt bad for Ben because the whole time Beverly thinks that
Tito Ben.
Bill
Sorry,
wrote the
sorry.
poem. It's like, oh, poor Ben.
The what?
Oh yeah.
Because
Oh, the poem. Oh no.
Okay.
Oh no.
I know I'm gonna sound like a loser here, but like I really related with Ben. I'm like, damn, I did these things.
Let's be real. If there's a character in this story that's definitely Jomar, it's Ben.
It is Ben. I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't the witty kid, I wasn't the brave kid who lost his brother.
Ben was Jomar, and I'm a mix of the bully and Richie.
God damn it, he's right. You hate him, yet he's so funny.
This son of a bitch, I wanna kick his. He's really funny though.
I don't know about you guys, but the scene where going to the end again, where Bill sees Georgie and pulls the trigger on the nail gun. For a while, the whole theater thought, like, oh shit, did he actually kill his brother? This is a cruel prank. Like, I could hear
That would've
people be like,
That
is
would
that
have been a
real?
fucked up.
Yeah.
That would have been a fucked up like plot twist
May
where
just say dumb motherfuckers if that was actually Georgie.
I mean,
Like, if
yeah.
they thought that was actually Georgie. I mean, like, it's not like Pennywise has really left anyone alive. Like, you think he hostage Georgie?
You think they fed him through the course of them trying to look for him?
Because, like, no, think about it from this perspective. What is Pennywise like... What's the use of him taking someone hostage? Does he want money? Doesn't care about money?
Okay, like if Pennywise was a Batman villain, and they've been doing it for years, I would get it. Like this is just a really big fuck you to Batman. But this one, like, to him, Richie's just not Richie. Sorry,
Georgie.
Bill was just
Bill.
no Bill. Bill is just another kid that he's gonna eat.
Yeah.
So like, what's the effort of keeping his little brother alive and like
I
probably feeding him?
I mean, it was a
Someone.
good scene,
Hmm.
more of because of what the scene represented. Because it wasn't his fault that Georgie died. Like, sure, there can be a little bit of guilt, but at the end of the day, like, the fault of a murder is not the person who wasn't there on that day.
Hmm.
And that you know, that was his not so. It's not a not so metaphorical final nail in the coffin.
Hmm.
You know,
His acceptance to his little brother gone.
he not just that, and his acceptance to realizing that it's not his fault.
mm,
Because that's what you're gonna feel, you know, when you feel like you could have done something about this. This is what you feel. If someone dies on a day where you could have been with this person, you feel like it's your fault. So this is him having to get over that trauma, and it's normal.
I do like how the film ends on like somewhat of a beautiful note. It's like, oh, this is a nice way to end it. Like,
Well,
people-
well, it ends on a way more beautiful note than it did in the fucking book.
So, I don't want to discuss that.
no, that's not. No, that's not. It's
Like, that's definitely a more beautiful note than the book.
yeah, like it's a great ending, but also leaves you wanting for more. It's like I want to see what happens next.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the
Not,
other.
not the
No,
book.
no, 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 not that.
If you wanted more than that, then brother, I'm not doing any more of these videos. I'm not doing this anymore. You want more of that?
No, I don't know what he was
I'll just say
thinking.
Piper Perry. There we go.
um, but yeah, at the time when I watched this, like I knew nothing. I thought the Tim Curry one was only adult, so I knew nothing about the kids being it. So when it says It Chapter 1, me and everyone in the theater was like, what? Oh damn, there's gonna be more? Because I thought it was gonna be one off.
I've seen a bit of the It movies, of the Tim Curry It movie, which was boring as shit.
Agreed.
And it will transition into them becoming adults. It sucked. I'm just trying to emphasize that this movie fucking sucked.
This movie?
And no,
No,
like
the
the
old
original
one.
It movie. But this one, it was a smart idea to cut it into two
parts.
movies. But what I'm waiting for is this rumored supercut by Andy Muschietti of the two movies in one with extra
Ooh.
scenes.
Ooh.
The Sketty
like-
Scud.
Release the Muschietti cut.
Released. All right, let me explain to you just why this movie.
He's bringing out the book.
Yes, why this movie needed to be in two parts. This is the book.
Yes.
Jesus Christ.
This is a paperback. What I'm holding. This is the cover. This is the cover, and this is how thick the book is. I've seen dictionaries thinner than this. The Bible doesn't have this many pages. It isn't double spaced. This book is longer than most people's relationships.
Bam. Yes.
Damn.
But this book is flawed. The story is flawed. And not just the thing that happens in the book after this particular chapter, but like, it's flawed and it's overly convoluted, and Andy Muschietti was able to like compress that into a digestible movie that would make sense for a lot of people. But I do want to see that fucking supercut. That
Me
fucking
too.
supercut with just a few more fucking scenes with the fucking turtle.
Yeah, I was gonna say the cosmic turtle. I was like, are they gonna put that there?
Yeah, the fucking cosmic Uguay.
Monkey.
Any,
Just, yeah. Go on.
sorry, I was about to say, any other details you want to add on to or talk about before we wrap this up?
Look, this movie did a lot of like 80s shit that we wouldn't do today. Like, I
It's
kind
hard
of
to do 80s shit when you're in the 80s.
yeah.
You know, because that's just the present.
Yeah.
Hey.
How can we make a movie about now when we're at now? Well, I'm like, they did a lot of things where, like, yeah, you couldn't show this in a kids' movie back in the day, or like a movie that represented kids.
Oh, and
In,
it's also no, it's also a movie that directly actually confronted things like racism.
Racism,
Back then, there was
sexual
something-
trauma and shit,
Yeah.
sexual abuse and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you notice the Easter eggs? Like in the
Which ones?
theater, it says the Batman
Yes.
and Lethal Weapon 2. It's a nice
Hey.
touch.
Hey.
And there'll be more in the sequel as we talk about that, like in the next video. But with all the nice things being said, what would you rate this movie?
I'd rate it an 8 because I like 2 more.
Uh,
I like
I-
2 way more.
I don't know if my rating will change when I revisit It Chapter 2. Because I haven't seen it in a while. I would give it a solid 9. Like, I really enjoyed this movie. It captured a lot of, say, it brought me back to like, oh, I used to do those with my friends kind of deal. And the scares were like, I will say the only gripe I would have is that once you watch this for the second time, the scares don't really scare you. Once you watch it for the first time, it will affect you. But I don't know. When said, pretty much pointed out everything, I was like, shit. Again, with every video it says, and I'm like, damn, he's opening my eyes to a lot of things.
Dude, like,
I didn't realize that.
every video that I share with Jomar, I'm almost guaranteed this face is gonna happen.
Look, like, at some points I miss shit in movies, and I'm like, damn, how did I miss that? Like, I missed the completely strong message that this movie had. And I was like, oh.
This is
There we
something that's very commonplace in Stephen King movies, in Stephen King material. Because Stephen King, the reason his horror can last longer than people would expect is at its core, it's not based on monsters or the unknown. He uses things that are traditionally cosmic and Lovecraftian and gives it a face. Because the source for why, let's say, a Lovecraftian piece of horror is interesting is because you can't describe it, and you
Or
can't
you'll lose
know
your
it,
mind.
or you can't contain it. But what he does is take what is traditionally unknown and unseen and makes it seen, and makes the source of why these things are powerful things that are very human. And this is the same in Shining. This is the same in Doctor Sleep. This is the same in the It books and movies. The villain is not the cosmic horror. The villain is what strengthens the cosmic horror. And even if you look at his other works, the reason why things like Shawshank is relatable is because Shawshank is not just a prison breakout movie. Shawshank is about not institutionalizing yourself to the things that hurt you. That's why these stories can last long. This is why these stories mean something. When you make the focus be something anyone can relate to, then it becomes a universal story. And this is why Stephen King is great. Stephen King has influenced more parts of my life than I actually realized. And I wouldn't be the person I am today, or at least any of the good parts, without having seen his stuff. I wouldn't have gotten over half the trauma I did without Stephen King's material, and I hope people start viewing it from this point. Like, from this point of view, because if you view it from that point, it's not just a horror movie, it's a movie about all of our pain. It's a movie about the things we go through and how we can go through them and overcome it. Because when you can do that, when you see the losers do that, when you see, you know, Andy Dufresne go through that and come out of it on the other side, a fully formed person and someone entitled and pursuing that happiness, then maybe every single one of us can too.
Yeah. I will also rate this a 9 out of 10. Like Seb said, this is the better version of Stranger Things. Like, it doesn't even compare. I'm sorry.
I like Stranger Things, but go on.
Yeah. The cast is
It's fine.
incredible.
Fine.
It's fine. I'm sorry, man. But the cast is
No,
incredible.
because this is what I'll say about Stranger Things. I don't like it for the most part, but turn around, look at what you see. That was great.
Yeah.
That was great. That was
That's
fucking
good.
hilarious. That
That
was
was
really
good.
good. Yeah, that's all.
Yeah.
Anyway, go on. And so
Great cast, great story. How the cast has to go through the drama to get on the other side and hopefully turn out okay by chapter 2. That whole story is compelling as hell, and I really like this movie. I'm not the biggest fan of horror, partly because I'm kind of a scaredy cat, but like the movies that I do love that are horror, I love. So that's what I'm gonna give this an 9 out of 10.
Point out that the reason I am giving this an 8 is because it's not a complete story. It
Mm.
only feels like it's a conclusion. It's not. Like, this planted the seed for 2. And because 2 completes this, that's the reason why I'd give it a higher score, because it feels like half a movie to me. And it always did. That's why I didn't like the It franchise until 2 came out.
Mm.
all right.
It's not, because like, It the book is not It 1 and 2. It the book is one book.
God hope that's not it. Chapter 1. That fucking thing better not be it.
Chapter
Chapter
one.
1.
Steven's like, I'm trying. He's like, try harder.
We've used all the paper the world has to offer. Please let me stop.
Aren't you
Mr.
more
Brett.
concerned with global warming? No, more trees.
More trees. You see
Plant
Stephen
more.
King like planting more with crazy eyes. This is for the future chapters.
It's like, hey, I'm progressing better than George Martin. Oh, sorry.
I'm not gonna go anywhere with that. Fuck Game of Thrones. You know how Game of Thrones is the most important thing in the world, and then one day it just disappeared.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about it.
Mm.
Like,
Dude, the fact that a lot of diehard fan friends I have were like, "Oh, what do you guys think of the last episode?" I didn't even watch it. I'm like, "Damn,
I didn't watch the final season.
Yeah.
good."
I'm
Good.
not even excited for the new series. It's like, okay, cool.
Neither am I.
Anyway, before this becomes a Game of Thrones thing, since it is all about fears, shit, what are your greatest fears? If you want to share.
Asthma. Okay. I don't know. For me, irrational, like physical fear, I would say like spiders.
Hmm.
Spiders freak the shit out of me. I can't
Chapter
do shit
2
with
should be fun then.
that. Uh-huh. That's the legs. I don't like it. I don't hate them. I could like put them outside and be like, okay, be free, be free outside, not free inside.
When physical irrational fears, I have the same fear blood sport has, just rats, which I'm petrified of. It's like
Of what?
rats.
Rats?
Yes.
Oh, okay, it's understandable.
I'm not sure that asking the guy who does philosophy shit to ask him what his fear is was the greatest way to end the video.
My inner mechanisms of my mind.
I have 3 fears. I have 3 specific fears. One of them is the dumbest shit ever, which is something this is just something that Ina legit had to like get into her head that this is a legitimate fear of mine.
Same here.
I'm scared of realistic cakes. I'm scared that the world might be made of realistic cake. I'm scared that I could one day like form a bond with a person, then like squeeze their hand a little too hard, and then just the icing and the bread just starts coming out. Now that I'm talking, not now that I'm talking about it, actually makes me. It's kind of triggering me.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Dude, like no, like it's funny to talk about, but like it's legitimately one of my fears. Like, I won't go too into this, but like the first time like me and Nino made out or whatever, she was like, I thought you'd be a bit more aggressive than this. She's like, I can't talk about this yet, but one day you'll find out. And the reason for it was because I was trying to see if she might be made out of cake. It's legitimately caused problems in my life.
Question. Is it because of that one video of that one dude?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
that makes
I saw
more
this.
sense.
I saw this TikTok a week before. And
Okay, it's okay. We're real.
We're real and jumped on
We're
your...
solid. I just start squeezing a little too hard.
And then I'm like, you know what, this is the end of the video, but I regret asking.
Okay, one thing, like...
dude, every time I go anywhere now, I kind of just squeeze things just to gauge. Like you just find me like squeezing the table. Like it's just real.
The most horrible thing that we could give Seb is like a congratulations steak, but it's cake. Oh my god! Seb, are you okay? And so end the video now.
I think that will give him the license to kill. I think we're done with this, folks. Anyway, you can find us. Oh, Jesus Christ. My John,
Seb, I've broken him. I'm so sorry.
Let me compose
End
myself.
this video now.
You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/geeksanddegenerates. You can find Slurp at this there too.
Will be linked in the description.
I took content at a page called Slurp, facebook.com/slurpedia.
John
Find me
works
at
doing this.
GOM
Yep.
Instagram. All caps.
Everything's
Lord.
down below. Why, John? Why did you have to put it there? Wear a mask, stay safe, get vaccinated as you can. Goodbye. Thanks for watching. See y'all later. Bye.
Fear.
Stop it. Bye.